Lord, I love starting these videos out with so much fun, but I don't know how the algorithm be algorithming. And I want y'all to be able to get all the stuff that I came here for. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. And I'm in a state where we don't get a lot of snow, but today we are getting some snow. And my daughter hollers out, "Oh, I hope it snows forever." Well, certainly that's not my hope at this big age. Last year when I went out and joined her in the fun, um, it was all good. But this year I haven't been working out and last year I didn't love it either. But this year, I'm just not really feeling it. So I hope we don't get too much snow. But at any rate, let's get into the video. I got a good video today. I hope this serves you well. I hope you enjoy it. And sit back, relax, um, grab a snack, and let's get into this. All right. So the world rewards a finisher, you know, somebody who is responsible. You know what I'm talking about. Um, we're taught that stepping up is the highest virtue. Those of us who understand we commit, we see a thing through. We become the person that everyone can rely on. And for a long time, the world will mirror that effort back to us, in the form of a promotion, thank you. Um, and you have that quiet steadiness of being the person who handles it, you know, the go to person. But what happens when that very, very, very responsibility starts to feel like a cage? When the rewards stop coming, but the demands keep growing. Um, when you're the giver, um, when you naturally are a giver to demonstrate that you are a responsible person, but maybe you've wound up pleasing under the guise of being a responsible person. Maybe you're, after all, a people pleaser, but that's not who you've ever defined yourself as. When the more you are given or the more that you give is no longer an opportunity, but becomes a heavy weight to you. Today, we're going to look at what's happening in that tension that you're probably feeling from being the responsible one. Today, let's get some relief from always being the one who carries it all. So let's get into the heart of the tension that we tend to hold around this. And let's find a release. So, hi, everybody. I am Minty Rae, and here I hold back the walls for you to just be. I had to check my arms because I wasn't checking. I hold back the walls for you to just be through the real, the sometimes beautiful, and often the exhausting. Lord, I always got to turn on the fan because it's always getting hot in here. And often the exhausting transition of midlife. This is our inner room where we are right now. It's a space for the unfiltered, for all of your messy, and the magic that can happen in midlife. We're here to name the things so that we can grow. Speaking of magic that happens in midlife, do you know that Warren Buffett made his millions? Research this because, Lord, I am not a journalist. Behavioral science is my space. But I'll say it to speaking to how magic to your own self can happen in midlife. And Warren Buffett's magic, millions and things, didn't occur until he was in his 50s. Speaking of magic in midlife. So we are here to name the things so that we continue growing. It is true that if you aren't growing even a little bit, then you're really just dying on the vine. And I'm holding space for you to have more ease in your life. So if you're here, subscribe if you're in midlife or know or love someone who is. So we often confuse staying with strength. We've been conditioned to believe that as long as we are naming the truth for everyone else's needs, then all is a go. But in this space here, in what I'm calling the inner room, we have to observe the anatomy of a commitment, especially when you have been raised to believe that your worth is tied to your excellence. When you know deep down that your mistakes are weighed more heavily than those others who are around you, we're here to name the shoulds and the subtle ways we are disenfranchised, even when we do everything right. So let's go a little bit deeper. Thinking of shielding yourself and proofreading everything about yourself. You may never have identified as a people pleaser. Was I saying that? Or maybe that was in one of the edits. You may have never identified yourself as a people pleaser. You identify yourself as somebody who is responsible. Hold tight, I gotta get some water. Y'all know I don't edit these videos because I'm here so often, so please bear with me. That was a pause for a drink of water, not to be confused with an edit that maybe could happen in these videos, but Lord knows I only have so much time in a day. So instead of seeing yourself as a people pleaser, you may identify yourself as somebody who's responsible. But what does it look like when responsibility is actually a shield against a world that is too often looking for a reason to count you out? So let's take a look at the observation. This is what it looks like when you're looking at it, when you're experiencing it. It's the frantic need to be perfect, to be beyond reproach. Nobody can question you because you've worked so hard to get everything done right. It's the exhaustion of proofreading your existence. It is a mental loop that happens before you open your mouth, editing your tone so you aren't seen as aggressive, scanning the room to see how you're being perceived. You are proofreading your emails, you're proofing your posture, and you proof your reactions to ensure there isn't a single error someone can use to diminish you. You aren't just tired from the work, you're tired from the surveillance of the work. Considering the myth of meritocracy. Consider the myth of meritocracy. If you have worked twice as hard and shown you're the most responsible in the room, yet the recognition still goes elsewhere, it's like, why is your loyalty still anchored there? Let's take a look at the observation. We sit here and we observe the ghost of the level playing field. We see the fatigue of the extra mile when the mile was already uphill. We notice the tax of excellence where your high performance doesn't buy you freedom. You know what that feels like. You know you're a high performer, yet it doesn't grant you the freedom that it seems to grant others. Your high performance only buys you more work, while those who do less are given the grace that you are denied. Why do we keep pouring our best into containers that are really, the container itself is made to be leaking? Looking at the disconnect, are you working this hard because the job requires it, or because you're trying to outrun the subtle disadvantages built into the floorboards, the very thing that holds us up. Let's take a look at this observation. Observe the moment your hard work stops being an investment in your future and starts being a subsidy for a system that doesn't return the favor. Notice if you are staying in the race just to prove you can win it. Lord, that's come up more than once. I'm thinking about, seeing these videos that I'm watching here on YouTube now where folks talk about leaving the country, just to get a little bit more ease in their lives, particularly women that look like us. So, just speaking of systems that don't always return the favor to us. Notice if you are staying in the race just to prove you can win it, even if the prize is something you no longer even want. Thinking about the erasure of yourself. Is it responsible to stay in a space that requires you to keep your head down and your voice edited? Let's take a look at this observation. Observe the physical sensation of a muted life. That doesn't feel good. Notice the weight in your chest when you realize your reliability is being used to keep you in check. Is that duty? Or is that you slowly disappearing? Later for disappearing for them, but slowly disappearing to yourself. So, finding where the catch is. How do you catch yourself before the extra mile becomes your only gear? So high gear is the only gear you know. You wake up in high gear. You are intending to work throughout the day in high gear. You live your life in high gear. You get home. You're performing in high gear. Let's take a look at this next observation. Look for the moment your ambition turns into an attempt to be undeniable, just to be seen as enough. So you do all the things and it's not really rewarded. Instead, they pretend it's just enough, but you know that it's more than anybody else is producing. When you feel that frantic pulse in your chest, that's the moment you must catch yourself. You're already enough. The system's inability to see it is not your failure to be it. Acknowledging the theft of your energy. Who are you robbing of your energy by giving it all to a place or person that will never be satisfied? Are you robbing people who actually want to invest in you, your family, your closest friends? Or even if you don't have closest friends, there's somebody in your life, likely, that if you're giving all your goods away to somebody else who don't appreciate it, then you're only human. Somebody is going to get shortchanged. Let's take a look at the observation. Every hour spent overproving your worth to a system that disenfranchises you is an hour stolen from your peace, from the people who actually see you, from the inner room where you are allowed to just be. So from this space even, where I hope you can come and just be your vulnerable self. but only share what you're comfortable with sharing. Let's sit with what it looks like to calibrate to a new awareness. In a stage of midlife calibration, that's what I like to think about when I think about us being here in this space, is that we are working to calibrate in midlife. We're not fixing something that's broken. We have done all that we can for as long as we have known to do all that we can. So we're not here to fix something that's broken, but we are calibrating this new space that we're in. It's like we are new people. And if you experienced menopause many years ago, started experiencing menopause many years ago, it's like something got, you, you were drifting into a new body that you just didn't know you were drifting into. We grew up not knowing about things like hormone replacement therapy and just that baseline can actually get you on on even keel. We we were familiar with working out, but I'm here to tell you that it makes a huge difference in your disposition. Not to mention there's a few different vitamins and supplements that, you just have to calibrate to your new body. There's a few vitamins and supplements that can make a difference. Um, you just have to, we're just calibrating to a new space in time. So, like I said, we're not fixing something that's broken. We're fine. We're simply noticing what no longer fits this new body that we have. We've been taught that responsibility means holding on at all costs. But as we calibrate in midlife, we observe a different truth. Responsibility requires an honest assessment of where we are now, not the promise of what might happen if you just work a little harder. If the system you are in is fundamentally set up to overlook you, then trying harder is just more fuel for a fire that does not warm you. It warms others until they put the fire out or until it burns out. But the fire does not warm you. The most responsible act might be the one that looks like stepping back. It's a shift from being responsible to a structure that doesn't see you to being responsible for the integrity of your own life. We're shedding the need to prove our worth to those who have already decided not to see it. We're clearing the path for our own joy. That's the ultimate release. So, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for having the courage to look at the subtle, heavy truths without rushing to solve them. We're not here to rush to solve anything. We're here to process, to be heard, to gently move in a direction that better serves us. I'm Minty Rae, and I'm so glad you're here in the inner room with me today. We will continue naming the truth for these shifts. We'll do them together. Remember, letting go isn't a failure of responsibility. Often, it's the only way to find your center and your path forward again. If you're here, subscribe. It's how we can stay in touch whenever I make a new video for your viewing pleasure. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.